Some of us, we all face the same thing, but we don't all react the same way. Some of us shrink from it and go into a state of depression as if this catatonic state of depression would immunize you from the effects of the pain. She doesn't have time to be depressed because the time she's wasting on depression could cost her daughter her life. So she makes, instead of making the decision to react with depression, she becomes desperate and determined. I won't even talk about desperate because I did that last time, and you need to get the desperate thing, because until you understand desperate, you won't understand the way we worship. Cute people don't worship like desperate people. People are more worried about their mascara. But when you get desperate, you will mess up your whole. When you get desperate, you don't care about your edges. You don't care about your curls. Come on, when you get desperate, you don't care that your tie's crooked. You don't care if you don't have on a tie. You don't care if you come out of your shoes. Have you ever had a problem that made you desperate and radical for Jesus? I mean radical for Jesus. I mean uncouth for Jesus. You don't care if you're on key or out of tune. You don't care whether the band can pick you up or not, because you are desperate. There are some desperate people in this house right now. There are some determined people in this house right now. You don't get up in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, jump in the shower at 6:45, get out in traffic on a Sunday if you're not a desperate person. All the desperate, determined people, make some noise in this house.
Everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster. And then you should learn how to control it.
You have to develop a doggedness in order to make it. You got to have some toughness in you. And the only way to develop toughness is you got to practice being tough. And you cannot practice being tough by quitting every time you get tired, by stopping every time you don't feel like it, by giving up every time it gets challenging. That's what's wrong with people now. People don't make it because they always give up when it get hard. It's so challenging now. They was talking about me. I feel weak. I'm tired. Life don't give a damn about you being tired. You got to get about the business now. You want to be successful, you got to get at it. You got to stop all this soft shoe shit and all that mess, man. You got to get at it. You got to tear their mouth out. This ain't finna be easy. Life is not getting ready to be easy for you. You can stop hoping for that. You're going to lose love, but you got to get doggish about it. Now, you really want to be successful, you're going to have to get tough. If you soft, you ain't going to win. I'm sorry. Because the devil is busy. The devil gonna throw hardship your way. He testing you too. You gotta get doggedly tough, period. That's the truth. Now, you can be nice if you want to, and that's beautiful. But you better get some dog, or you ain't gonna make it.
Being aggressive. That means you are ready to attack. As I always point out, this doesn't mean you walk around with your chest puffed out, ready to bang heads with everyone around you. It doesn't mean you confront people physically or mentally head on without a tactically superior plan. No, what it does mean is that you are going to get after it. You are going to move fast. You are going to think fast. You are going to outthink and outmaneuver the enemy. If I think the enemy is going to attack me, I'm going to attack them first. If I think they are going to seize a piece of terrain, I am going to be there waiting for them. If I think the enemy is going to flank me, too late, I'm already flanking them. I view aggression as a fire in your mind that says, I am going to win. I am going to battle, and I am going to fight, and I am going to use every tool I have to crush my enemy. And that is what aggression is to me, an unstoppable fighting spirit. the drive, the burning desire to achieve mission success using every possible tool, asset, and strategy and tactic to bring about victory. It is the will to win. And if that kind of internal, relentless aggression is your default mode, you will win.
If you want to know how to change your life, I give it to you in 3 words, boring as it sounds: raise your standards.
I want you to think about what you feel when you get dressed up, or you put on a tux, or you put on a nice suit, and you go to an event. And I want you to think about how that feels. I want you to think about how powerful you feel, how successful you feel, even if you're not. What if you woke up every single day with that feeling? What if you woke up every single day with that confidence? What if you woke up every single day feeling like the baddest motherfucker in the room, and you walked around with that everywhere you went? How different would your life be? How different would your relationships be? How different would your career be? But how do we translate that into day-to-day life? Because even people who wear suits know that if you wear a suit every day, it loses its luster. If you wear a tux every day, they call you a waiter. It's not the tuxedo, it's not the dress, it's not the suit that makes you feel that. It's the pride and your attention to detail. And this is how successful people cultivate this feeling over the course of their everyday life. You have to understand that you feeling that way is a direct reflection of how you're living up to the standards that you know in your heart you hold for yourself. If you miss a workout, if you miss meals, if you do a half-ass job at your work, if you do a half-ass job at home, guess what? You are not going to have that crazy feeling of superpower. Here's the good news. It's very easy to cultivate this. It starts when you get up. It starts with taking pride in your appearance. It starts with taking pride in your job. It starts with taking pride in your discipline that you know you need to have to become the person that you want to become. Right now is when everybody else quits. Right now is when everybody else is going to fall behind. Right now is when everybody else decides to do something that's easier or faster or not as hard. And that's what gets you ahead. That's what gets you to have pride. Because those struggles, those feelings, those things that are difficult, they are there to test you. You have to understand that struggle is a privilege. Hardship is a privilege. You have to take pride in not quitting when other people are going to quit. You have to take pride in executing your job to the very best of your ability. Negative emotion, negative frustration is compounded. If you can't figure out how to create a good situation out of a situation where you're having difficulty, you are in for a long ass kicking. Your whole life is going to be a fucking train wreck. Talk about how the competition is the greatest at the bottom of the pyramid. The reason the competition is the greatest at the bottom of the pyramid is because it's easy. As you not just enduring your struggles and enduring your frustration, but turning them into a privilege, knowing that they're teaching you a lesson, knowing that other people who aren't as gritty and tough as you are quitting while you're sitting there suffering. Suffering is a fucking privilege.